Here is a quick story of a time when I was 4 years old. I was born in Northridge, California in 1966, and in 1971 in the San Fernando Valley, there was the San Fernando Earthquake in 1971 on September 9th, early in the morning. It was a 6.5 or 6.6 on the scale. I woke up to my bed was bouncing off the floor. I don't know exactly how high. I guess maybe 6 inches to a foot. It was bouncing really good. It was a bam, bam, bam. And as I was bouncing, I was moving across the floor in my room until I moved into a whole corner. And during that time, when I was bouncing, I could hear my dad trying to get to my sister. She was in her room screaming and didn't know what was going on, so my dad was trying to get to her. And you could hear him banging into the walls, and I can see him flying past my room, and he fell to the floor, and he kept getting thrown into the walls because everything was just rocking back and forth. He couldn't walk, he couldn't get to my sister. So all this seemed to go on for maybe 10 seconds or so, 10, 15 seconds. And then after that, we all went outside and kind of assessed the damages and stuff like that. And the neighbors next to us, their tree, a big giant tree, fell on top of their house and just crushed in their roof. And that was pretty memorable. And then all day long after that earthquake, there was just tremor after tremor after tremor after tremor. And we had to, all day long, we had to keep running back outside because, oh, here it is, here it is. And so we ran back outside. Also pretty traumatic during that time is we had a little wiener dog that got loose somehow. And I went over to the neighbor's yard to try to go find the dog. And it went in the backyard of the neighbor, and the neighbor had a giant, I think it was a Saint Bernard or gigantic dog. And I heard a bunch of growling from the big dog. And next thing you know, my little wiener dog comes back around the corner from the backyard, and it was covered in blood. So I was able to let it out of the fence, and I picked it up in my two arms like this and carried it back home. And of course, it died shortly after that. But that was also, part of that memory of that shock and crazy day. And then after that, my aunt, who also lived in California at the time, came over with my mom. Maybe it was the same day or a few days later. Can't remember, but they went for a drive around the LA area. I'm not sure exactly where we were living, but we drove to that one hospital. I'm on Wikipedia here, trying to get the name of the hospital. We drove right by the same hospital and seen, the kind of like the stairs were collapsed or falling apart or something like that. It was called the the Olive View Hotel. So that was pretty cool. And that was my memory of that earthquake. And also, too, a quick piece of memorabilia. I looked up where I was born in the hospital, and it was the same hospital that a lot of the TV shows like Scrubs, General Hospital were filmed, and that's where I was born, where all the movie sets were later. It's called Mid-Valley or something like that. I've Googled it before, but I forgot it now. But my dad in California was painted cars, and he painted a bunch of Elvis Presley's cars, Bing Crosby, and stuff like that when he was a car painter in Hollywood. I believe it was Hollywood where he did that. So anyway, that's my California memory. And shortly after that earthquake, we packed up everything, and my parents moved back to Utah, where they were from. So just wanted to document that and see if anybody has any information, or if they went through the same earthquake in 1971 in the San Fernando Valley, called the San Fernando Earthquake. Yeah, 1971. Have a nice day.